Pete and I, we went all around the world. He was following me literally all day long on every trip, every meeting, and obviously he's taken some iconic shots.
Pete Souza, the Obama White House photographer, might have spent more time in the Oval Office than President Obama, because President Obama worked in the White House for 8 years, and Pete Souza worked in the White House for 16 years, because he served as a White House photographer for the 8 years of the Reagan administration before going to work in the Obama administration. In his new book, The West Wing and Beyond: What I Saw Inside the Presidency, Pete Souza takes us backstage in a way that no one else can. Here is Bruce Springsteen rehearsing in the Obama White House. And here is an Oval Office visitor who doesn't seem to have an appointment quite yet. And here is Gene Sperling in the Roosevelt Room deciding he better move that chair to a better spot. Joining us now is former chief official White House photographer Pete Souza, whose new book is The West Wing and Beyond: What I Saw Inside the Presidency. Pete, thank you very much for joining us tonight. You have done it again. I have turned every page of this book more than once, and it has that just amazing backstage feel of a documentary. That seems to be what you were going for.
Yeah, I wanted to give people a peek behind the curtain and show what happened, and not focus on the president, but focus on the other people inside the presidential bubble that make the presidency work.
We've got a shot right there of the football going up the stairs of Air Force One. You're sharing the screen with that for a moment. Describe what's in that briefcase.
Well, what's in that briefcase? That the military aid and that particular photograph, the Coast Guard military aide carrying the football up the stairs on Air Force One. There would always be a military aide with the football on Air Force One, Marine One, inside the elevator, inside the motorcade. Inside that football in that case is essentially the nuclear codes, along with probably some other communication gear.
You have the things that I love the best are these backstage kind of photographs. You've got Al Pacino and a group of Kennedy Center honorees there, right there in that shot, just hanging out, waiting for their moment. There's another one that I really like, which is of a Korean interpreter. Here is someone who may have traveled, I guess, with the Korean government delegation to the White House, right. Just collapsed, sleeping near a TV camera in the White House, wherever that moment could be, that moment of sleep can be grabbed. That's the kind of thing that we never get to see outside of your book.
Yeah, I mean, I always was looking for things out of the corner of my eye. You know, the president was in the room behind the green room. This is in the green room. He was in the East room at the time, and they were just eating dinner. And I was just kind of walking around, and I saw this interpreter, taking a cat nap.
And then there are these majestic, I think, Pete Souza shots of, for example, Marine One. You got a helicopter shot where your background happens to be the Golden Gate Bridge. It's just an amazing lineup of those rotors containing the rotors on the ground, containing the helicopter in the air. That's just one of those moments where do you know you have it before you click in a moment like that?
Well, this is one where I kind of anticipated it happening and was trying to frame it, below that rotor blade that was already of the helicopter that was already on the ground. So this is one that I had, was able to maneuver to get in a position to compose it just like this.
You also have shots inside Marine One, inside the helicopter, the cockpit of the helicopter, the kinds of shots we've never seen, inside Secret Service SUVs. It's astounding how crowded it is in there, how many people are in there. One of them, you've got a Secret Service gun juxtaposed with a camera, a photographer's camera in there.
Well, that was my view from sitting in the spare limousine, the spare beast, if you will, because that's who sat across from me, was a Secret Service agent with a gun.
And that was your life. You had 16 years of it, 8 with the Reagan administration, 8 with the Obama administration. How do you go back to the real world after that level of excitement every day?
Very easily. I mean, now that I have a granddaughter, that's who I want to spend my time with.
And when you were living it and recording it in the camera, you had an advantage that others working there don't have, which is that you've got that camera all the time. And so you're able to capture your own personal memories, like of that shot of, John Kerry standing there with the vice president at the time, Joe Biden, whereas everyone else is flying through that building at kind of high speed, trying to remember everything they're going through, but they don't have that advantage of being able to click whenever they see something.
Yeah, I think I had the best job in the White House, Lawrence. I mean, being able to visually document things as they happen inside the presidential bubble. I mean, it was just an amazing experience.
And what did you... Sorry, go ahead, Pete. Please finish your thought.
No. You go ahead.
What did you take away from it about how the American government was serving the country from the White House while you were there?
I mean, while I was there, I saw decent people trying to do their best to help the American people. I mean, it sounds corny, but really that's what I saw. And it's not just the appointees. There are also hundreds of people that work at the White House that stay there from administration to administration. I'm talking about the butlers, the groundskeepers, the chefs, Secret Service. We didn't know what their political affiliation was. It didn't matter. I mean, they were there to serve the president no matter, who the president was.